The state's first witness in the Nulane trial made preposterous submissions. Siphiwe Mahlangu from the National Treasury is still on the stand, day 2 of the criminal trial there. One of the defense, a lawyer for one of the accused, Dinesh Patel, is currently grilling Mahlangu over his affidavit. The advocate, Kenny Oldwage, says Mahlangu's misled the court and customised or tailored his evidence. Erin Bates is live for you now from there. Erin, good afternoon to you. Quite a strong accusation for a defence advocate to make. What is Oldwage saying?
Yes, Stephen, it's been quite a grilling today inside court with Mahlangu on the stand for the second day now, facing counsel from those accused, and Oldwage really sort of launching into him over his statement to this court for this Nulane case, although I'm sorry to say that counsel for Pillay saying that it's Nulane, so we'll keep going around in circles as to the proper pronunciation, I fear, for the next few weeks. And one of the things that Oldwage has raised is the Commission of Oaths for Mahlangu's statement. The Commissioner of Oaths is a lieutenant colonel, as he was then in the Hawks, Mtolo. And Mtolo is the same person who Mahlangu says really dispatched him or sort of tasked him with looking into a selection of documents linked to this feasibility study by Nulane Investments in connection with Mohuma Mobung in the Free State. And what Oldwage is saying is that because Mtolo was involved in actually procuring this input from Mahlangu, he shouldn't have commissioned the statement, and that occurred at National Treasury last year, or 2 years ago, I should say.
How's the witness been responding to this? I mean, obviously very difficult for them to respond to under cross-examination from what seems to be quite an aggressive cross-examination as well.
Yes, certainly. I don't know if I've gotten softer being, watching court online during COVID, but it has seemed quite heavy-handed at times. Oldwage, for example, raising his voice at points and really insisting that Mahlangu has been deceptive in his evidence before the court. But that said, there are no punches pulled when it comes to these kinds of cross-examinations in a criminal trial. And were things to get too out of hand, of course the presiding officer would step in. Only at 1 or 2 moments did we see the state prosecutors stand up and raise a point, Stephen, and that was actually in relation to other counsel this morning. We had another silk standing and at some point accusing Mahlangu of being a dog on a leash, and at that point the state prosecutor stood up and objected to that analogy or that simile for Mahlangu, saying it was simply out of order. The counsel then said he would withdraw. He didn't actually say, I withdraw and my apologies, but he was sort of vaguely contrite, I would say, on some reprimand about that, and then later said that Mahlangu was on a rope. And that's something that other silks have picked up on as well when they've cross-examined Mahlangu. The objective here at broad strokes, to put it at its sort of minimum, I would say, is really just to rubbish his testimony and make him look as uncredible as possible. We're barely out of the stables here, Stephen. Mahlangu's statement, if you exclude the attachments, is only about 2 pages. So if this is the pace we're going to go at for this trial, we've got a lot more witnesses on that list, some 35 as we discussed yesterday. It's going to be a long haul here in Bloemfontein.
Erin Bates, thank you very much indeed. She'll of course be there on the long haul with you to bring us more coverage of it.